Every 5 to 10 years, our jobs are challenged. This was predicted by Linda Gratton, an economist at the London Business School, and Andrew Scott, a psychologist, in their book The 100-Year-Old Life. This means that as times change, we'll all have to change careers and update our skills. Speaking of changing times, in recent years, I'm sure you've heard a lot about the rapid development of artificial intelligence, or AI. A report by McKinsey Global Institute suggests that 70% of jobs could become obsolete as AI develops. Yes, you heard that right. A full 70%. You don't need to be a painter. Artificial intelligence will be able to produce works like those of famous painters. You don't need a driver's license. You can ride in driverless transportation. You don't need to know anything about the law. An AI robot lawyer developed by an American company will be in the courtroom defending the accused. This means that designers, drivers, and lawyers will all be out of a job. Of course, there are many other professions not mentioned. Your job is not going to be so secure anymore. As I read this, I wondered if there are any skills that won't become obsolete. After careful consideration, there is indeed. Welcome to Audible Wisdom, your guide to wisdom. Here are 6 rare skills that will set you apart in the next decade. Number 1. Design sense and aesthetics. Aesthetics are hard to improve, but they're also hard to diminish. In the famous movie Creating Anna, the heroine Anna was an ordinary girl from an ordinary family. But she fooled all the celebrities in New York. She pretended to be the heiress of a German company. She became a prominent socialite in New York. All the while, she stole and cheated her way to the top. You might think that New York's rich are all fools and easily fooled. But the fact is quite the opposite. It is because these rich people have high standards that they are fooled by Anna. What does Anna rely on? Her unique aesthetic sense. She's been reading fashion magazines since she was a little girl. She's developed a great sense of design and aesthetics without even realizing it. That's why when Anna attended the New York party, she impressed the rich people with her perfect dress. Rich people all know that this kind of aesthetic sense cannot be faked by those who have not seen enough high-end designs. You can't tell what's good about something when you see it, but you just like it and want to touch it. It's not your genes that choose the other person. It's the other person's aesthetic that attracts you. So even if an AI can design a pattern, do you know which one is the best? Do you know how to make the design more creative and aesthetically pleasing? A person's level of aesthetics determines his level of competitiveness. If you can create and find beauty, you'll naturally stand out. Whether you're a home blogger, a fashion blogger, a designer, or a food editor, you need to have an eye for beauty and a sense of artistry to avoid mediocrity. Even jobs that seem unrelated to aesthetics require a sense of beauty. For example, being a content creator, you have to be able to write stories with a sense of rhythm and rhyme. As a programmer, the ability to write clean and elegant code is also part of aesthetics. As one designer put it, the dividend of the aesthetic age has arrived. We've gone from having enough to eat to an era of pursuing spiritual consumption. It's human nature to pursue beauty, and it's a trend of social progress to honor it. In the future, a person with aesthetic power is destined to become a popular person. Secondly, the ability to tell a story. I used to have a question. Why is the Bible the oldest, widest, and most translated book in the world? This question has puzzled me for a long time. Then I came across an idea that suddenly made sense to me. The reason the Bible is so popular is because it tells stories. Children and old people can understand them. Simply put, the reason the Bible can touch people's hearts is because it tells a good story. Stories have an unseen power. People love stories, and a good story can travel across time and space and resonate deeply. It's not just movie directors or novelists who need to be able to tell stories. We all need to tell stories. Whether it's to build a brand, to get investment, to get a job, to sell a product, to get a promotion, or even in the pursuit of love, the ability to tell a story can make all the difference. There's a lawyer in America. His client was a convicted thief, and the police found the owner's wallet on him. But he claimed that his wallet looked like this, so he took it by mistake. If you were that lawyer, wouldn't it be hard to defend your client? But this lawyer, Sherry Hip, successfully defended his client's innocence. Here's what he told the jury. When I was a kid, I saw my dog come in one day with the neighbor's rabbit, and the rabbit was dead, and I immediately realized that the puppy had killed the rabbit. I decided to keep it a secret to protect the puppy. So I washed the rabbit, dried its fur, and put it back in the neighbor's rabbit cage. I thought no one would ever find out. But the next day the neighbors came over and told us a funny story. They said that their rabbit had died 3 days earlier. They buried it in the woods, but some weirdo dug it up, washed it, and put it back in its cage. That's when I realized I was wrong about the puppy. What seemed logical on the surface wasn't the truth after all. In this case, it appears that my client stole the wallet, no doubt. But, maybe he took it by accident. None of us can be 100% sure that he didn't take it by mistake. That's what we call reasonable doubt. Why is this quote so powerful? Aristotle said, "We can't influence people with our intellect, but we can with our emotions. When we solve problems, we can use logic, we can use reason, but when it comes to influencing people to agree with us, logic is not enough, and that's something that artificial intelligence can never replicate. AI can help you write stories, but it can't tell them for you. We need stories, because that's the only way to empathize, to connect with people, to get them on your side. The most persuasive behavior in the world is not persuasion, it is storytelling. People who can tell stories always get more opportunities. There's an interesting saying, there is no truth in the world, only stories. That may be an exaggeration, but there's no denying that stories have warmth. It makes people feel emotional resonance. It makes them more easily moved and persuaded. Those who are good at storytelling tend to be more charismatic. Like Tesla's CEO Musk. Why is he so successful and a star in everyone's eyes? One of the reasons is his ability to tell stories. So no matter what situation we find ourselves in, we need to learn how to weave our experiences and visions into a compelling story. This skill is perhaps more important than any other. Third, the ability to play. We often interpret the word play in a derogatory sense. We accuse those who play of being impatient, unprofessional, obsessed with a small hobby. We say that they have lost their ambition by playing with things. As a result, we don't listen to what's going on outside the window. We focused only on the competition in books and tried desperately to catch up. In the end, we became the kind of people who only know how to read and know nothing else. In fact, play is the embodiment of human nature and creativity. It can even become a key competitive advantage. According to Schiller, play is the release of high energy. George Santayana defined play as something people do voluntarily and with pleasure. Many successful people have the ability to play. This ability stimulates the human nature to be happy. For example, Zhao Yuanren, his masterpiece, How Can I Stop Thinking About Him?, was also created through playing. Once he was playing by the West Lake and went into a wooden fish shop. In his childlike mind, he picked out a dozen wooden fish of different tones. He lined them up and played a melody with his hands. The result was a classic song. The nature of play is the source of human creativity. Scientists have shown that people who play usually outperform those who don't. This is because play enhances an individual's creativity, adaptability, problem-solving skills, and learning efficiency. It also serves an important role in maintaining emotional well-being. All of these skills add up. Not only does it make a person infinitely more competitive, it's also the ability to do something without getting bored and giving up. That's why people who play have a higher success rate than others. In today's internet age, anyone can present themselves on the internet, and those who know how to play are more likely to stand out. For example, if you like to play games, you can make money by creating game guides or attracting fans with live commentary. If you like to travel, you can become a travel blogger and make videos while you travel. You can also earn money by advertising, eat, see the scenery, and make money at the same time. You see, playing is never a bad thing. Learning to play means learning to live with yourself. And if you play well, you can make your own way in this era. Fourth, the ability to provide emotional value. The first batch of original artists have been laid off due to the arrival of AI. Large companies are planning to lay off 20% of their employees after the introduction of AI. The rapid development of AI in the past 2 or 3 years has made many people feel uneasy. A sense of crisis weighs on everyone's mind. But as Kai-Fu Lee said, although AI is powerful, it still has insurmountable shortcomings and weaknesses. One of the most obvious shortcomings is empathy. From a broader perspective, AI is no substitute for humans in terms of emotional expression and insight. Even the most intelligent machine is still cold. Even the most sophisticated algorithms can't compute inner emotions. The temperature between people is always beyond the reach of AI. Li Xiong, a senior media personality, gave an example. There are 3 million truck drivers in the US. Most of them are men. With the development of driverless technology, they may lose their jobs and return home to take care of household chores. In contrast, there are 3 million women who work as secretaries and administrative assistants. AI can't replace their coordination and communication skills. Men's roles as traders and unloaders may be replaced by machines. But babysitters, caregivers, jobs that require a lot of emotional communication, machines just can't do that. Similarly, AI can replace some of the roles of doctors, but it can't replace empathetic caregivers. At the heart of the doctor-patient relationship is the human being, and patients need more than technology. They need emotional support. AI may be able to replace some waitresses, but it can't replicate warmth and sincerity. At family dinners, on dates, what people expect more than anything else is a smile and attentive service from a waiter. In the future, emotional communication and expression will be the most important skills. If you learn how to provide emotional value to others, you will have the advantage of not being replaced by AI. Fifth, the ability to be self-directed. There's a famous law in psychology called the law of the slow horse. It's a story about 2 horses, each pulling a wagon. One of the horses pushes forward as hard as he can, while the other horse is lagging behind. The owner was very worried, so he shifted the load from the slower horse to the faster one, hoping it would be more efficient. The slower horse was pleased and slowed down even more. It was even a little pleased with itself. He thought that the faster horse should carry more of the load and he could relax. However, the owner kept shifting the load from the slow horse to the cart of the fast horse. Finally, the slow horse was sent to the slaughterhouse. This story tells us that the core idea of the slow horse law is that if you lose your value, the risk of being eliminated increases. For individuals, we must continue to learn, grow, and improve our competitiveness in order to advance in the workplace. For businesses, we need to innovate and optimize to be more competitive in the marketplace. We must always be vigilant and not fall into our comfort zone, because our ability to adapt to the environment is limited. Only by working hard to explore our potential and constantly challenging ourselves can we stand out and remain invincible in the highly competitive workplace. For an AI to do its job, it needs to be told what to do. If you tell an AI that you need to be told what to do, you're just waiting to be eliminated. Famous entrepreneur Kazuo Inamori once said, "A man's attitude toward work determines the direction of his life." This is a very profound statement that reveals how people should approach their work. Some people may approach their work in a superficial way, just wanting to get things done. This kind of attitude makes it difficult to improve one's ability and is easily eliminated by society. They are busy all day long, but they don't have a sense of accomplishment and they are not recognized by others. However, there are other people who treat their work in the opposite way. They are dedicated, serious, and responsible. They continue to gain experience and improve their skills and career patterns. When the opportunity arises, these people are able to take the leap of faith and make a leap forward in their lives. Kazuo Inamori also said, "People who are really good have one thing in common. They're self-starters. These people don't just go through the motions at work, and they don't just do what they're told. Instead, they take initiative and maximize their energy." Spontaneous combustion is a rare quality in a person. We live in a time of unprecedented rapid development and constant advancement. The challenges for everyone are escalating. Without the spirit of spontaneous combustion, the path of life will be dark. Only by igniting ourselves can we pursue a brighter life. Only by igniting ourselves will we be able to blow away the sand and find the gold. I hope we can all become self-igniting people. Try our best to ignite ourselves and fully demonstrate the way to fight back in life. The self-igniting people mentioned by Mr. Kazuo Inamori are what we call people with self-drive. 6. The ability to communicate. If you were to go back to college, what would you choose to study? There was a survey done by the Ivy League. The Ivy League asked the business elite on Wall Street and the political leaders in Washington this question, and the answers were all over the map: writing, negotiation, public speaking, philosophy, etc. But the one thing all these programs have in common is communication. The survey revealed a key point: the more successful people are, the more they understand the importance of communication. Many of you may have seen the movie When Happiness Comes Knocking. Chris, the main character, goes from a struggling salesman to a successful stockbroker. His story isn't just about hard work. It shows how he used communication to change his life. By chance, Chris met a Sudanese stockbroker who was full of admiration and curiosity. He dared to ask, "What do you do for a living? How did you become successful?" He simply pointed to the brokerage firm and said he was a stockbroker. Through this conversation, Chris realized that this was an industry he had never known before. He jumped at the chance and decided to change careers and put a lot of effort into trying to get into the financial industry. However, during one of his interviews, due to various mishaps, Chris had to appear before the interviewer wearing inappropriate clothing. He didn't flinch at the possibility, but was upfront about what had happened to him. When the interviewer asked, "What would you say to someone who came to the interview dressed inappropriately and I hired them?" Chris replied with a witty smile, "I bet his pants look great." This humorous and witty response broke the awkwardness and brought him closer to the interviewer. And ultimately, it helped him get his foot in the door of the financial industry. As the old tycoon Rockefeller said, "If communication is a commodity, I'll pay anything for it." Communication is more than a skill. It's a ladder to success that can help us climb to greater heights at every stage of our lives. Learning to communicate is not just a verbal skill, it's a lifelong art. These 6 rare skills can set a person apart in the next 10 years. Let's encourage each other to improve these skills. Thanks for listening. This is not just a place to share the best books. It's also a community for learning and sharing. Thank you for your support. Please subscribe to our channel. Join us in the fun of listening to books to broaden your horizons and enrich your knowledge system. Let's improve our lives by listening to books together.